Hi, I'm Orly. I'm a Customer Success Manager at Comeet, and thank you for joining me today to talk about our great new feature called Step Templates. You'll be able to access Step Templates from your system settings. You'll see that under Data, a Step Template section has been added. Now, before we get into things, what is Step Templates? Up until today, the step names in Comeet have all been free text. What Step Templates allows the system owner or admin to do is to predetermine which steps will be available for use in Comeet. This will allow you greater consistency between positions in the steps that you use and also more accurate reporting. So it's a very important feature. Now, when we turn this feature on for you, it will be set as not required. This means that the recruiter for the position will still be able to add a custom step and add a new step name that hasn't been predetermined here in this settings page. We do recommend that once you have everything set up correctly, you change this to required. Again, to ensure that your processes are really consistent. Now, here at the bottom of the page, you'll be able to see the actual step templates that have been set up. Right now in this view, we're looking at the step templates that are active. Active means that they appear in the drop-down when adding a step or changing a step in a workflow. A new thing that we've added is these stages. We've divided the steps into recruiting stages. This will make it easier for you to find them in here in the settings page, as well as when you're adding the step in a workflow in the drop-down. And it will be reflected in the reporting. At the bottom of the page, you'll be able to see any steps that we weren't able to automatically determine where they belong, what stage they belong to. In order to update one, all I need to do is click on it. And I can update the recruiting stage here from a drop-down. The recruiting stages have been predetermined by Comeet, so you do have to choose in this drop-down. You can also change a step name. If you change a step name, it will also affect all of the positions that step is in use in. The step type, these are the step types that you know and love from Comeet. And the step participants. You can add a default participant, which is either a recruiter or a hiring manager. This can always be changed in the workflow. We're only talking about what the default will be for the step. I can also archive a step from here. Archiving a step means it will no longer be available for selection in workflows. It does not affect the positions in which a step is already in use. We're not changing anything going back. We're helping you work in a way that's more consistent moving forward. There's another place that I can archive a step. It's by clicking on these three little dots. From here, I can hit on archive, and it will archive the step. It will no longer be available for use. Now, when you're looking at the steps here, you'll note that first of all, you can see how many positions a step is in use in. This will help you determine which steps you want to leave in use and which ones you want to archive. And we've added some recommended steps as well. If there are any recommended steps that you don't want to use, it's totally okay. All you have to do is archive them. Another change that we made is that step names now need to be unique. This is very important for your reports. This way you can determine in the reports which step was which. So our best practice now is, let's say if you have a step that you need to use more than once, all you have to do is to duplicate it. And then you can, let's say, number it. So here I could go like this, for example, and add this step very easily. So once you've gone over the steps here in the active section and seen if there's anything you want to archive, you can also check the archived section. Some of the steps that aren't very much in use in your Comeet may have automatically been archived. So if that's the case, all you need to do in order to use one of those steps is hit reactivate. So it's all very simple. Now, once you've set everything up here behind the scenes, we'll talk about what it looks like inside the position. Before we hop there, just keep in mind that you have this view called All, where you can see everything all together. Now let's take a look and see what this looks like in a position workflow. So you'll notice that here in this step, have this little blue arrow that's new. Click on it, and here you'll be able to see the drop down of steps that are available for you to use. Anything in light gray is already in use in this workflow, so it's not available for use again. Everything is divided into the categories we talked about, so it's easier to find those steps. And if you've set things up as not required, at the very bottom of the list, there'll be a place where you can add an additional step as well. If you're a system admin or owner, here at the bottom, you'll be able to see that this link to the template settings page, and this will take you into that settings page so you can make any changes you need to make there. Now, in addition to setting things up behind the scenes in that settings page, what we recommend doing as well is going over the positions you have open now and making sure that you're only using steps that are part of your template that you'd like to continue using. If there's a step that's that you don't want to use anymore, all you have to do is click here and choose a step that you do want to use instead. Another place this might meet you is if you have an old position that you then reopen down the line. If this is the case, just keep in mind that there may be some steps in use there that you don't want to use anymore. They'll need to be updated as well. And lastly, when you add a position, you can start with a template. When you do this, also start with the workflow that you used the last time you used this position. So here again, if you use a template, after you click on add, just make sure that you really are using all the steps that you want to be using and make any updates that are necessary. So that's it about step templates. I think you'll find that it's very intuitive and easy to use, and it'll really improve the organization in your commit. Of course, if you have any questions, as always, you're welcome to contact us. Click on this little chat bubble here and start a conversation with us, and we're happy to help you. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great day.